All right, today we are talking about something truly revolutionary. It's a new kind of power plant, one that can stop blackouts, save us billions, and help the planet. But here's the crazy part. It has no walls, no smokestacks, not a single turbine. Because this power plant, it's hiding in plain sight, right inside our own homes. I want you to imagine this for a second. What if your electric car, your smart AC unit, and yeah, even your neighbor's solar panels could all team up? What if they could be linked together to act as one giant invisible power source for the entire grid? Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, it's not. That's the core idea behind a virtual power plant.
So what exactly is this power plant without walls? Let's dive in and break down what we're really talking about here.
Here's the key thing to remember. A virtual power plant, or VPP for short, isn't a physical place you can visit. Nope, it's software. It's a really sophisticated, cloud-based system that acts like a conductor for an orchestra of smart energy devices, getting them all to work together as a single, coordinated unit. Some of the early analysts came up with this brilliant analogy for it, the Internet of Energy. And it makes perfect sense, right? Just like the Internet connects millions of separate computers so they can share information, a VPP connects thousands of separate energy devices so they can share and manage power. It's just a fantastic way to picture it.
So how is a VPP different from what we already have? Well, a traditional power plant is huge and centralized. A microgrid, on the other hand, is all about local independence. It can actually island itself from the main grid. But a VPP, it's totally unique. Its whole goal is to optimize what we already have across a huge area while staying connected to the main grid. And its key technology isn't concrete and steel, it's software and AI.
Okay, so we've got the what. But how does a VPP actually get all these different gadgets to act like a single powerful force? Let's get into the nuts and bolts. So, it all starts with what the industry calls distributed energy resources, or DERs. Think of these as the building blocks. They fall into three buckets: things that generate power, like your rooftop solar panels, things that store power, like a home battery or even your electric vehicle, and things that can control their energy use, like a smart thermostat that can dial things back just a tiny bit. This whole setup turns a regular consumer into a prosumer, someone who both produces and consumes energy. Pretty cool. And if all those DERs are the muscles of the operation, then the software, well, the software is the brain. It's the central nervous system for the whole thing. It's constantly watching everything in real time: the weather, how much power is needed on the grid, energy prices, and sending out tiny signals to all the individual devices, telling them exactly what to do.
You can really boil it all down to three simple layers. First, you've got the resources, all those thousands of DERs out in homes and businesses. Second, you need the connection, a super secure two-way communication network so they can all talk to each other. And third, you have the brain, that central AI-powered system that makes all the optimization magic happen.
Okay, this all sounds really cool in theory, right? But what does it actually do for us in the real world? How does this VPP idea make our aging energy grid any smarter or stronger?
Here's where it gets really clever. A VPP takes things that just sit there and passively suck out power, like your water heater or EV charger, and it turns them into active grid supporters. They become part of the solution, intelligently adjusting what they're doing to help balance the entire system. This is especially huge when you've got renewables like solar and wind, which can be a bit unpredictable. They provide these super important jobs called ancillary services, stuff that traditionally only massive billion-dollar power plants could do. Things like frequency regulation, which is basically the grid's cruise control, keeping everything perfectly stable. They also manage demand response, which is like easing traffic during energy rush hour. And they provide voltage support to make sure the power flows smoothly. These aren't just nice-to-haves, they are absolutely critical for a reliable grid.
So that brings us to the big question. Does any of this actually hold up when the pressure is on? When the grid is pushed to its absolute breaking point during something like a massive heat wave?
The answer is a huge, resounding yes. Get this. During a major heat wave that almost crippled New England's grid, VPPs were called into action, and they delivered an absolutely staggering 5 gigawatts of power and relief when it was needed most. To give you some perspective, that's like 5 brand new nuclear power plants firing up out of thin air. Just incredible.
And the result? They helped prevent a massive blackout. That's the bottom line. Millions of people kept their lights on, kept their air conditioning running, all because of this coordinated network of smart devices. This isn't just a pilot program anymore. This is proof that VPPs are a seriously powerful tool.
And what this really shows us is a fundamental shift in strategy.
For decades, the old way of thinking was just build more. We need more power, let's build another giant, expensive power plant. The new way, the VPP way, is to optimize what you have. It's a much more flexible, smarter, and way more cost-effective alternative. We're talking billions saved by not having to build that costly new infrastructure.
So this technology is clearly a game changer. It's already here, and it's already working. So let's look down the road a bit. What does the future hold for virtual power plants? And what are the bumps in the road we still need to smooth out?
Now, of course, it's not all perfectly smooth sailing just yet. There are some real hurdles we've got to clear. For one, regulations are a patchwork. They can be totally different from one state to the next. Then there's the problem that different brands of smart devices don't always speak the same language. And of course, making sure this whole system is rock-solid secure from cyber threats is absolutely paramount.
The big dream here, the ultimate goal, is to create what you'd call a tech-agnostic future. Basically, a world where it doesn't matter if you have a Tesla battery, a Google thermostat, or a Ford electric truck. They should all be able to plug in and work together seamlessly on one open system. Once we get there, we unlock the true, massive scale of VPPs.
And that leaves us with this final, really fascinating thought. What if the future of our entire energy system isn't found in a few dozen massive centralized buildings, but instead it's spread out across millions of our homes and businesses, all working together in perfect concert? The virtual power plant suggests that the power to build a cleaner, stronger grid, well, it might literally be in our hands.